And like usual, we'll derail somewhere in there, and our show will probably still end up being like an hour and 25 minutes.
Welcome to episode 36 of the Hardcore Casuals.
You've got
to Jurassic Park.
Well,
on the next Hardcore Casuals,
tune in next week.
Goku has been training for 36 days. He needs 42 more before he's strong enough to take out Perfect Cell.
Oh, man.
Taking a breath.
Have you gotten Perfect Cell yet, Dan?
I was just going to say the Hardcore Casuals will achieve their perfect form in another 36 episodes.
You think this is my perfect form?
Oh, my gosh.
Shut up.
That's right.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
Gina says, you've derailed long enough.
I really appreciate our ability to just go right out of the starting gate and immediately fall over.
It's like we pre-derail.
Pre-rail.
Have you ever seen those videos where like all the guys were like going to do this bike race, and then the bar dropped, and all of them like handlebarred over themselves? Like that's just our equivalent of what's happening here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Except
we just kind of stay there in our butts and keep talking instead of getting back up. We're just cool with it.
Right. Everybody's all amped up for the race, and they're all cheering and yelling and rooting on their favorites. And then the little, the pistol sounds, and the thing opens, and it's over. Somebody made it to the finish line, but it wasn't us. Anyway.
Or was it?
Heyo. All right. So, now playing. Who's going first?
Jen?
I went first like the last every time.
Well, I am not Jen, but I can come back and relive my my tales of the Spiderman in the best Jen pronunciation of the word.
Spiderman?
The Spiderman. So, got a chance to start playing that. Having a lot of fun playing that, doing a little web slinging.
Yeah.
Running around the city and listening to all of the random radio shows where you're trying to be talked out as a vigilante.
Oh, dude, he's so good.
And all the callers are like, no, but he saved this whatever, and it's not what you say it is. So those are kind of fun to listen to. But it's fun. I'm happy to see that there are the tacky Spider-Man dad jokes in there.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
Lots of those.
Nice.
That, you guys should already know by now. It tickles my heart.
Oh. I thought of you, too, but I'll get there. I don't even remember what it was now. It was bad, though.
What did you think of the cutscenes? They're pretty good, right? Pretty entertaining?
I think I haven't seen too many of the cutscenes. I mean, some of them are okay. The story kind of falls together pretty decently well with a lot of the villains and other stuff that's going on. But I think that one of the interesting parts is just graphically it's really well done, and story-wise everything fits together. It's just kind of tough to explain. It has a lot of things where people would be like picky of some of the other games. It's like all those things are like there's little comedic bits, there's action-y bits that are in there, there's pretty much everything you could need. I can't think of anything else in that game where I'm just kind of like, you know what? The game needs more of fill in the blank.
Gotcha. So it's a good thing. You're saying it's a good game? Or?
Oh yeah. I can
cool.
definitely see why Buddy like platinum it in the first like 120 hours it was out or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, I mean it's one of those things you can just lose yourself swinging around and collecting things.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's the other good thing too. It has parts in there where the story kind of flows together, and just like a lot of the other games now, we have like a main storyline, the side stories, and things like that. So you can kind of cut in between here and there and do whatever you feel like you'd like to do to get away from the story, even if you just want to take a few minutes to breathe. But, just like I talked about last time, the first thing that opens up is you have all these police stations and all their broadcasts, and you have to fly or go around the city and kind of hack into all these things to get the frequencies right. And that's what opens it up, is as you're going to all your different spots on the map, like you'll randomly get there's a robbery going on here, there's a drug deal going on there, and so it'll play to your video game ADD very quickly. But then again, all good things.
Awesome.
So
yeah, it's all seamless too. Like you just go from one thing to the other, and I think the only loading screens are if you have to go inside of a building or anything. It's pretty, not that bad at all.
Yeah, it's. I think one of the coolest parts about it is that whenever you go into these items, like there's a couple things where you have to go in like a food pantry like spot, and help out with a couple different things. Like there are interactive spots in there where you're just walking around, and all of a sudden there's like this homeless person that knows that you've been working or helping out with whoever, and it's like, oh hey Peter, what's going on? And they like talk to you for a couple seconds, and it's a little, I think that was a cool little side thing that they did in there that added a lot of value to it, because it wasn't just like background stuff you kind of wade through like what you'd see in some other games. Yep. So I'm at about 40% to game, so I still have a lot of stuff to go through, but I OCD'd my way into it, so I went and undid all of the radio towers, and then once you get done with the radio towers, there's all these backpacks you can do, and after you collect all the backpacks, you get these little tokens for collecting those, and those open up new Spiderman outfits. And
oh yeah, the outfits are awesome.
Yeah, and each outfit, like some of the outfits have like superpowers attached to them, so if you do whatever it is that you need to do to unlock it, that will open up your ability to do this or that or whatever. So that's fun. And then after that, you get these landmarks where you're supposed to go take pictures of all the different spots around the map. So naturally, I didn't do any missions after that and just did landmarks. So it's like, hey, FYI, here's this new thing on the map that you can kind of do. And I'm like, oh, that thing? All of it.
Nice.
All of the things.
I'm Spiderman. I will do all the things a Spiderman can.
Yeah. So, yep. So far, high marks, good grades all across the board.
Have you met Mary Jane yet?
Yes.
Does she seem a little Mass Effect Andromeda-ish to you, or no?
I did not get into the Mass Effect Andromeda, so I could not accurately answer.
Fair enough.
Yeah, in what way?
I don't know, just something about like her facial animations. They feel
so you're saying she's a little funky looking?
No. I think she looks great. Like it's just normal. It's just the when she smiles, especially like the texture. I don't know. It just feels a little weird, like robotic for me. It's like one of those. Everything else feels really fluid and natural, but when she like talks and smiles, it's like.
I'll have to pay attention when I get there.
Yeah, I'll have to take a peek at that whenever I check it out here. The next interaction with her, I'll have to report back for you, Ben.
Right on.
Give you a full status report.
I'm not sexist, guys. Promise.
I'm just glad that you're enjoying the game, even though they changed the puddles, because that was, the big controversy.
Yeah.
Puddlegate.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it was real, yeah.
You're being serious?
Oh, yeah.
Was it the E3 showing where they revealed it? People were like, "Oh my god, everything looks so good." The puddles, the water looked good, and then I think when it released, people were like, "Oh my god, they changed the puddles! It's another downgrade! It's another scandal!" So,
oh jeez.
Yeah, they took out the puddles or something, and everybody was, "Oh my god!" It was ridiculous. Up in arms, pitchforks, torches, sucks. All of the things.
Wow! Oh my goodness!
All the pitchfork torches. Pitchfork on one end, torch on the other.
Oh, that's smart, man. You're so smart, Josh.
It's a Walmart right there. That's where you find that. Sporting goods. I'm pretty sure they got those there.
I prefer the ones that are like the dual ended, so it's not so much that the torch is on the bottom, but it like comes up into almost a pitchfork with a pitchfork and then a torch.
I'm just trying not to laugh because you were excited about the goal-ended one.
Josh, you and me both.
Oh man, you guys.
It's okay, we're children.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Thanks for making me feel better about myself by admitting that, Josh.
I just...
Admitting
Like,
it.
hold.
He's celebrating it. What are you freaking talking about? You act like he's over here, like, embarrassed. He's like, "Herp-a-derp-a-doo. Here's the thing I can say.
How long do I wait for comedic effect?
Here's the thing I can say."
Oh, what? Anyway, so that and Rocket League, that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's been a slow run. Kids were on spring break and had a lot of things going on with work, etc. So my game time slowed down heavily.
Yeah.
But it was basically Spiderman and Rocket League.
Nice. Classic.
So,
Classic Rocket League.
You know, keeping it real. Rocket League's pretty much that game right now that I can play and not think too much. I mean, I can just kind of react.
But just
without
not
having.
having.
No, actually, I've been playing a lot more with Jen. That first time, I tell you, if it wasn't for Jake telling me that you have to end up in the division that you were supposed to get your like rewards from, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm not going to be in gold." It's kind of where the whole thing started. But
I can just guess Jen's face right now.
Mm-hmm.
Drink.
I'm not going to be in gold. You know what?
all them rewards, Joe.
You know what?
But my realism.
You can take your shitty ugly tires and your shitty ugly banner that you got for your gold.
Well, I didn't know that's what they were going to be at that point.
Mm-hmm.
That was back before they had cool rewards that you could buy with $10. Gin.
Right. Anyway.
Rocket Pass Gin.
Yeah, I'm going to get the next one when it comes out, too.
Oh, nice.
I might do that with how we've been playing it more this time around.
Well, yeah, like, we played enough for me to get all the way through all of the stuff to where it started duplicating. So,
Oh.
not duplicating in a bad way, but duplicating like it would give you the same thing but in different colors. So it was like adding to your
nice.
options. But,
Yeah.
you know, anyway.
Did anyone get the Apex Battle Pass?
No, did not.
Now, why would I go and do
Jake
that?
did. I don't think we've played. Have you guys played since we last played together?
No,
I haven't, but
I
keep
think,
telling myself I should.
Yeah, me too.
I think it was actually the last time that we all played together, like you said. I think that's the last time I played it.
Wow.
They've added a new character and everything now, I think.
It was pretty much when Anthem came out, I think, that we kind of stopped.
Oh, that's right. We played for a good week, and then Anthem came out, and then it died. Now
And it was funny because I just got the guy that's the magician,
Mirage.
like Mirage. Yeah, I just got him right where we stopped. I got enough tokens to unlock him.
So you haven't played him yet?
No, I played him like a couple of rounds that night whenever we first got it through because I was trying to get used to the whole creating the duplicates.
I got the other guy.
Because like you have to hit a button and launch them for them to run that direction. You can't just so
You can make duplicates even in the air when you're falling to throw people off your ascent, which is pretty cool too, or confuse them.
Yeah, so I do like that effect, and I want to try that out some more. So if we get back into playing it, I'm game. But I literally unlocked it, and then later on that night, like, didn't go back into play, and then Anthem came into the fold, and
I prefer Rocket League anyway, personally.
Yeah.
I don't know. Apex is okay. I just am a little bit indifferent.
I feel you. Well, I like Rocket League. It's just one of those games that I have to be drunk and playing with you guys. And then I enjoy it. Mainly because I'm just so far behind. Like, I guess I can play with randoms, but I'm not really looking to unlock things or get better. It's one of those games that I have a great time playing with people that I know, or just I'm on a party with, But yeah.
Which is reasonable.
you're good. Oh, it's good.
I don't play it by myself, ever.
Yeah, Jen plays it with people,
Can you play with bots? Is there a setting for that?
There's a league setting where you
Interesting.
can set up like a season and play through.
It's just crazy
So-
how Jake is the good one, right? Or is it Buddy? Buddy and Jake are really good, right?
Jake usually does really well for himself, and I think he just plays with randos and just makes it work for himself.
I just remember seeing a compilation or something on YouTube where people are fucking like flying through the air and hitting shots. Like, man.
Yeah,
it's
if
kinda
you ever want to
crazy.
feel like insecure about your Rocket League play, just go watch any Rocket League championship match.
It's a
It
good call.
doesn't even have to be the final. Just like any of the, prelims or anything like that. Just those guys that are at that level, and you see just it's constant flying. Guys already have stuff timed where they're hitting like every little boost. They have it perfectly timed to know how long that one of their guys hit the 100 boost at this point, and the other one's going to hit the 100 boost right after this. So they have like all this stuff just timed up, and it's crazy. Because I don't think in a lot of those matches that the ball ever like hits the ground. It's like it just goes and it's immediately flying, and I mean, if it hits the ground ever, it's like an anomaly.
Like a few seconds, yeah. I just want to play as good as Dan does. That's all. That's my goal.
It's hard to beat.
So Dan,
On that seamless segue,
what have you been up to, man?
Sekiro.
Dan's been playing that with the Donkey Kongas.
Yes.
Working on his
DDR
flaws.
man.
Yeah, his Dark Souls. Every game that matches up that plays exactly like the same, without taking damage. So go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
It's Sekiro is really that game that I wasn't expecting to like as much as I have, and is quickly becoming one of my all-time favorites. To the point that I've gone and picked up old Dark Souls games now because I think I've realized I've been missing out. So that's pretty much all I'll say.
Yeah. No, I think you said it last week too, and it's funny because I've been reading like a lot about Sekiro, and even that girlfriend review thing I sent you. It's like everyone who plays it says it quickly becomes their almost like all-time favorite game, which I think is crazy. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
it's one of those games I guess you have to try. Kind of like
you really
God of
do.
War.
With this, like I think I've told you guys, the same thing in private is that you'll either love it or hate it. But I think there's better odds that you'll like this one because I didn't really click with the other Dark Souls games except for 3 and maybe a little bit of Bloodborne, but I didn't feel like that itch to keep going. Whereas this one, there's a few things that are streamlined, like the whole RPG things being like the elements of like the stats that you're looking for, and like there's no weapon drops or anything like that. That being dialed back lets you focus more on the combat itself than anything else. Because I mean, starting Bloodborne or Dark Souls for me was already daunting because first thing you have to do is you've got to pick which character you want to be or how you want to allocate your stats, and already I feel like shit, I don't know what I'm doing. This isn't it's a bad start already. Whereas Sekiro,
gotta go online, look up a build, etc.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's not something you want to necessarily do as you're starting up a game for the first time, but I'm just one of those that will anyway.
Right.
But Sekiro strips all that back, and it's more focusing on the combat, the mechanics and all that, and when it clicks, it feels amazing. Like it's hard, but it's not unfair, and I'm not finding it excruciatingly difficult. Like I'm getting through bosses, within 10 attempts for the most part. It's really satisfying. So I recommended it last episode. I still recommend it strongly. I don't know how far into the story I am, but I'm in without spoiler territory. I'm in a village, and that's I guess all I'll say. Yeah,
Kind of village.
No, a creepy village where the story's starting to get all kinds of weird. So
No construction workers, anything like that.
nope,
Okay, all right.
no young men either.
Oh, explains a lot, I guess.
That's been pretty much the only game I've been playing for the past couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
So then I will pass it over to Ben.
Well, the only game I've been playing is Elder Scrolls Online, and it's totally come back blast from the past for me. And I've been pretty much obsessed with it. Like, I don't know. It's for anyone who's played Elder Scrolls games before, or is really like, into Skyrim or Divinity, any of those kinds of games. It's totally, I don't know. It's different from the other MMOs that I've played. All the quests, all the NPCs, everybody there have a voice actor that goes with them that's unique. All the quest dialogue, everything is acted out as well. So it's just one of those, I've always been obsessed with Skyrim. I replay it all the time, and it's just a game that has that MMO style where you're playing with other people. I mean, I've met a group of people online that I'm playing with too, like in questing and stuff, and they're in a guild, and finally having that guild dynamic that I always wanted to have with WoW, but also enjoying the really interesting dialogue or story of an Elder Scrolls game. So it's been really cool. And it's they had a huge sale on it and with the DLC and stuff, so I grabbed one thing, and you can grab the base game and it'll unlock like the entire first story, the first part, the first kind of DLCs or whatever, and you can play that, and there's like dozens and dozens and dozens of hours worth of content there. It's very solo friendly too, so it's a good experience if you like RPG games and that kind of fantasy-esque setting. But it's good.
I wanted to get in there and play that, but I missed out on the whole Skyrim thing. I knew that was more Xbox whenever it first came out, and there was a lot of crazy there. So there's a couple of those games that I really did not even get into. So I heard some good things about Elder Scrolls, but then I also heard about the crazy kind of learning curve and all that.
Well, the thing is that they when it first came out, it was a really rough launch. People were not happy, almost like a Final Fantasy 14 kind of deal. And they toned it back. They restructured a whole bunch of things, and now they made it like Elder Scrolls Online or Elder Tamriel 1 or something like that. So I think they were like the first game, and the other subsequent ones followed it to lead, but they made all the levels like irrelevant. So even if you're level 50, you can be doing stuff with the level 1 and be gaining experience and be playing together. And one character will have all the professions unlocked, etc. Kind of like Final Fantasy 14 too. So it's that they've made it a lot more accessible. So it's a lot easier now. There's not a whole bunch of stuff to really be, like, oh crap, I have to get online, see what all this is, what's this skill, builds, etc. Mm-hmm. And it's unique fighting or combat too. I think, Dan, you're not a fan of that one, but I think they've gotten a little better with that too.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a fan of the like the whole Elder Scrolls combat. Like, just it just doesn't feel right to me. But it's not. I know that I'm probably the problem because a lot of people do dig it. But yeah.
Oh, it's nothing perfect at all. I mean, there's definitely that floaty feeling, but I mean, it's just fun. Mm-hmm. Like, you're actively like I like to tank, so I'm actively blocking hits with a shield, and
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not just like a block chance or anything like that. You actually have to hold up the thing, and it's really cool. I'm just having a blast with it. So.
Yeah, I think I couldn't get into it, but that's because I played WoW for so many years that like I can't help but judge any MMO based on that, and just being used to that anything else is like too different. But yeah, I kind of wish I could get into it just to want to play with you, but right.
No, it's all good. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, it's just different people have those, because there are 2 people in the guild that I'm playing with now that they were pretty good, like WoW players. And they just love it, mainly because the story is, it's just all there. Like it's interactive and it's in your face. It's not reading text. So, and it's different than WoW also. And I think that's what they liked about it, because it gets, if you play something for that long, it's, you kind of get really good at it, or just, you don't feel it anymore.
Yeah, I'm at that point with it now too.
But definitely people who like those kinds of games, check it out. It's very cheap.
I think the other thing that got me with it was the, Dan, wasn't it you that sent it to Ryan?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
With the insert.
Yes.
The custom made background insert.
Yep.
That was the other part. How the Sensei Dan reference of how it was and how quickly he was happy to get rid of it in mail with cutout insert, I think also kind of soured my look at it. Like, I was like, well, if it doesn't have Sensei Dan's mushroom stamp of approval, then
that's right.
I'm glad you take my opinion that so highly. You really shouldn't, but
I mean, I doubt you guys will get into it at some point. I mean, if you do, that'd be awesome. But if it's at a point where it's pretty cheap. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you don't have a game to play, which is rare, because you guys have like 70 games you have to play now. but it's a good option. So that's it. That's it
All
for me.
right.
Elder Scrolls Online.
So, Jen.
Hi. So, I've been playing, my Dragon Quest, and I've been having a little bit of I'm really having an attention span problem, I think, with that Dragon Quest right now. So I've been trying to cast about and find other things to play. So there's been a fair amount of Rocket League with Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ranked matches?
Yes.
Yep.
Sweet.
When he is on. I'm getting better.
She is. A lot better.
I'm getting better. I got better. Let's see.
There's your inner Gemma.
What else? I've still been, occasionally playing Owlboy. I would just for a brief moment like to complain about Conan Exiles. And you guys know exactly what's coming. You know what's coming.
Or not coming, really.
Not coming. Oh my god. I'm an idiot. I know. I started the game and
She's just a girl.
I'm just a girl.
Living in captivity. Oh, no.
The big to-do about Conan, and I'm sure that it's a fine game in its own right. It probably has all kinds of artistic merit and whatever. But the big deal is that your character can be totally naked.
Big deal.
Nice. It's as big of a deal as you want it to be. Heyo. But you can adjust sizes of certain
penis.
Yeah.
Endowment.
That is.
Is it really called Dong Slider? Or what
It's
did
just
I
the
say?
Endowment slider.
Oh.
And
I don't even know what the game is. Like, that's all I've heard about. That is just a Dong Slider.
I think
Then
that's
you
the
got loud
case for 99% of the people.
Sorry.
It's like you got close to your microphone. You got excited.
I got too excited. It got too
We're
big, and I
talking
just
about penis sliders.
it kept growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. Yeah.
His excitement meter of Endowment was turned up.
Yeah. Well, I was incredibly disappointed because you can only go up to partial nudity in Conan Exiles on the PS4.
So they censored it.
Yes. So what this means is
His dong got slidered down.
you cannot adjust the endowment and you're stuck wearing a loincloth. But if you make a female character, her boobs can flop right on out there.
Double standard.
I was like,
Wow.
I call
think there are two of
shenanigans
them.
on
It's a
this.
double standard.
Oh my god.
She had a horrible wildebeest accident or something. I only have one.
Uniboob.
Wait,
That's
Uniboob.
not what that means? No?
Josh.
Okay, sorry. Wrong kind of standard, I guess. Okay.
Josh.
Sorry.
Could you just let me have my rage for a minute?
Nope.
I'm over here on my little soapbox, and Josh is like,
Jen?
double, like, shut up!
It's like you don't know me. What happened?
Shut up! Oh my god. But I did have a chuckle though, because since I couldn't have a penis, I decided that I would have large boobs instead. So I made a female character and cranked that slider all the way up. And when you're creating your character, you're nailed to a cross. So all you can see is the front view.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah.
What game is this?
Just the Madonna make a video? Like,
All you can see is the front view. So I slid that thing all the way up. I was like, let's do this. We're going for the big honkers. And then she, the opening cutscene is this guy comes up and like cuts you down off of the cross, and he's like, go forth and do whatever. And you stand up. And I was
Slightly
like,
top heavy.
oh my god. I turned the camera to the side and I laughed so hard. I feel so bad You guys, I was going to send you a picture and then I felt really inappropriate about it. I was like, this is terrible.
So guys, I'm researching for the show here.
Hashtag Sims Party.
So unnatural. It's hysterical. Oh my God. So anyway, Conan
So highly
Exiles, everybody.
recommended game.
And then I got bored immediately and didn't realize that there's a stamina meter, so I kind of walked away from the game, and I came back and I was dead. I was like, well...
Oh, so it's like survival? You have to keep doing stuff in order to keep your stamina?
Yeah, there's like stamina, and then there's hunger and thirst and all kinds of stuff, and I was like, all right, I'll come back to this someday, maybe. But that was my Conan experience. Such as it was. I thought it was worth telling.
Yeah.
For the sake of, oh my God. But I played through the demo of Yoshi's Crafted World, such as it is. It's basically one stage. It seems like it's fun. I am gonna wait until I'm really bored and have a little extra, floating income before I decide to pick that up. Just because my favorite Yoshi game after the original Yoshi's Island is Woolly World. And Crafted World is super cute and it's adorable and all that, but there's just something that it's missing for me compared with Yarn Yoshi.
Mm-hmm.
So,
would you agree with the reviews? They were saying that it's artistically breathtaking, but that it's just not. It's too simple and it doesn't have the challenge that makes it fun.
Yeah, but I mean, they only give you one level, but I can.
The demo, right.
I can easily see how that would be the case. Yeah. It feels very, very much like it was made for Dan's children.
Yeah, and
specifically Dan's children.
And just to support the argument, my 6-year-old loved it.
Right. See? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm absolutely not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just Woolly World was really they hit it for me on that one, right out of the park. And I just don't feel that with Crafted World, so maybe someday. I don't think it's a bad game. I just don't think it's rush out and buy it right now. Okay. Otherwise, I started Spiderman. It took me 2.5 days to get through the opening mission because every time I had an opportunity to play, I fell asleep.
Stamina meter was down at that point.
My stamina meter was toads down.
Wizard needs food.
Yeah. Oh, God. But it's, so far, I haven't gotten too far into it, at this point. I just unlocked the radio towers. So I'm like, ooh. And then they said, you unlock the radio towers, and then immediately they tell you how to be ADD. They're like, here's radio towers, and here's robbery, and here's an assault, and here's this, and you're just like, oh, God. I'm hyperventilating.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
All the red caution signs.
But I can totally see how this is going to be. This is kind of exactly what I wanted. I was in the mood for something where you can just,
zone out
and go fast and cross a lot of distance really quickly and just, whatever, have fun, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's going to do that for me exactly the way that I wanted it to. So I'm looking forward to getting further into it.
Yeah.
Good pick on the Spiderman.
Yes.
And it's a great, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel yet, but that story was fucking amazing. It wasn't epic, like God of War or Horizon or anything, but it really is like a Marvel movie that you're playing and can do whatever you want with. I enjoyed that. So I recommend it as well.
Yeah, it seems really, and it's pretty too. Like Josh was saying, it looks really good. I did notice it looks a little more comic-y than I guess I would have expected, which kind of works for it because Marvel movies or Marvel, the general comic concept is a little more fun and less gritty, realistic kind of thing. And I kind of like that about it. But, the people still look really...
Oh, man. Speaking of people, next time you guys are on, you need to go to the Ocean Bay area and web sling to one of the boats.
Oh yeah,
And you can see the
ready to
GoldenEye enemy big head mode. It's hilarious.
people with big
definitely should do
diamond
it.
heads.
Yes, the fucking polygon just it's hilarious. You should
Yeah,
definitely do it.
everything else looked good except for
I'll have to go.
Oh yeah,
check it out.
it's
somebody
worth
was
it.
hungover on graphic design day.
I'll have to go
Copy
check it
of
out.
it. Control key, Control C, Control V, Control C. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So that will be a nice little goal for me to get there once I figure out when it's going to actually let me go do things on my own. I'm really not sure what the cutoff is if they stop talking
Jen,
to you at some point.
After you get all that stuff, you do like the first mission. It's going to open up your landmarks, everything you have to go take pictures of, and the big raft, the floating prison that's out in the river. That's once you complete that, that's where you get all those landmarks, and that's where you can actually go jump on a boat that has the shitty face.
Okay.
Shitty face shots.
I will.
So.
I will go and do that then.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's pretty much it. I've done a lot of like hopping around between games for 5 minutes at a time because I haven't been able to decide what I want to do with my life. So I reinstalled Doom and I reinstalled something else. Broforce.
Broforce!
Oh, we played that, right? That was pretty
that
good.
is fun as hell. I love that game. So that's kind of
Graphically, it's not super pretty, but man, it has a lot of fun going on to
it's
it.
well, it works for what it is. I think.
Yeah.
I think it fits perfectly for what it is, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. It's even more fun with people.
That's right.
Yeah. Drunken gaming night.
Drunken gaming night. Yeah, I totally reinstalled it for that, and then nobody played anything. I was all by myself over here, like, hello.
I never got to play co-op. The one night that we were going to, like months ago, Josh, I remember you were having like issues with the your PS Plus and all that, and it kind of fizzled out. But
Oh yeah,
I'll
I got that all
definitely give it a
straightened out.
shot.
Got
Oh,
that
I
all
figured a
straightened
year
out,
later or so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that was
count
the
me in
whole-
for that.
That was the whole like I had it.
Your son, right?
And,
He was.
yeah, my kid got the renewal thing for PlayStation and punched it in on his account instead of mine. And even though his account is a sub account, they didn't read it as like my account was the primary and it should be under me. They immediately just said, "Oh, his is on here and he has the PlayStation Plus membership." Even though they're on the same PlayStation and whatever, you lose all your licenses, all your free games that we have given. So.
Oh my gosh.
So, moral of the story. Anyway.
Don't
But,
have kids.
Don't let your kids play PlayStation. If you want to have all the time to yourself. No.
I mean, it's working for me.
Well, see, there you go, Jen. You don't let your kids play PlayStation. So.
They would find it rather challenging, I think. Oh god,
That's more
I killed
of
Ben.
It's more of a Wii. It's more of a Wii situation.
Those motion controls.
Lots of those motion controls.
Oh man.
Although
I
the
just
PlayStation controllers look a bit more.
That's exciting.
Oh my god. I just had this image
Images
of
in my
like
head.
Twilight Princess because you actually had to swing the controller to swing the sword. Why does Link look like he's having a seizure?
Why is it so floppy?
All I can think of is carnival games, man. Talk about your ugh. You guys ever play carnival games for Wii?
I don't think
No.
so.
What?
No? You should go back and sign up for the alright, so if you've ever gone to like the fair or whatever, or like a carnival, and they usually have the thing where it's like a spot you have to shoot a water gun and to make a balloon pop, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, they have one of those for carnival games for the Wii. And their bright idea was you have to shake up the remote to push the water pressure upwards so that you can squirt it into the clown's mouth. So
no
think
more.
of all that. Think of all that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you're lots of rigorous Lots of rigorous wrist motion to be able to aim it at the TV and then squirt it all over the TV, quote unquote. And then your pressure is down, so you gotta rigorously wrist motion again.
Oh, so it would be really good for No More Heroes too, or not? Was that called? Yeah, that was the game.
I bought that game and never played it, so I couldn't tell you if it was really
you had to charge up your blade by vigorous hand motions. And I used to think, because I was, not the most street savvy of young gens, and I used to think this feels so inappropriate. Now I would be like, this is so inappropriate. I love it. Anyway, that's really all I have. So, moving right along. Mm-hmm. Do you guys want to talk about what we know about PAX?
We have a very loose understanding of what happened. But that's how we roll on this show. I did look it up, so we sound smart. PAX actually stands for Penny Arcade Expo.
Ooh.
So that's ba-dum-bow. That's all I got.
The more you know.
This sounds like someone in grade school giving a presentation they didn't prepare for.
PAX stands for Penny Arcade
Expo. Defines this as.
According to the Google.
I loved it. That's awesome.
Oh, man. So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm super excited about Streets of Rage 4.
Oh.
I loved 3. Does that count?
Yeah, I guess.
What was that for? What system?
I don't know.
Sega Genesis.
Oh, so it's an oldie. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all of the Streets of Rage were on... Streets of Rage was the Sega Genesis's answer to the original Final Fight games for Super Nintendo.
Ah, gotcha.
So
the music is fucking fantastic in Streets of Rage.
Yeah. They were fun games.
That's what I know about it. They have not released a date. I don't see anything about the system.
Maybe it's going to be like the. I
guess I could.
It's going to be the Epic Store exclusive.
What was the Lost Frontier one that came out? The First of the North Star or whatever that came out here recently?
Oh.
It really doesn't seem to. Oh my god, it looks so good though. It looks so good. You guys.
Yay.
I have no idea what system it's going to be on, but it looks really good.
I'll have to look at some screenshots. Like modern kind of graphics, or is it like an indie looking game? The old school style.
It looks like a Streets of Rage game, but prettier. So
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like I don't know how else to really.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't play any of those, so I'm assuming it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of thing. Like
side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Cool, cool.
Looks really good, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm weirdly excited about it. I think I've played Streets of Rage 1 or 2 like a million years ago, but I think that looks like something I might actually pick up. So
nice.
Yay. Let's see.
It for PAX.
No, we had some. Hold on. Hold on. We have 2 other things that I can mention here that are actually relevant.
Oh, good. I didn't recognize anything except for Divinity.
Dead Cells DLC that they talked about, and I think it was playable, and it's free from what I understand.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I'm assuming that will be coming eventually. I don't know if they gave a date. Let's look.
I think they did give a date, but I don't know if they specified whether it was PC or console or if there was a split or something like that. Because I remember comments on Facebook being about that. They may have clarified since, but free is good regardless. So
it does say free DLC on PC.
Mm-hmm.
But if they do it on PC, they'll probably, because that developer seems to be pretty
fair.
Yeah, I think they'll at least make an effort to eventually get it out on their console stuff.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I think it did pretty well, especially on Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, for it being the very, Nintendo-esque or Super Nintendo-esque graphics, the gameplay on that, control-wise, everything was smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Quick and smooth and fun to play around with. I always hate it though, man. You get that one thing where you think you have just a great roll, good weapons and all that, and then you screw up and like one enemy just owns you, and because you weren't paying attention for like half a second, and then you lose all of it and have to start over again. It's like no.
Yep.
What was it, the first time you die and there's the one chick that's there trying to help you out and there's like a sword stuck in her or something, and the next time she's all decayed.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
It just
was dead
continues
for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Sorry. Lost me for a second.
All good.
I thought I was gonna die.
Just having palpitations.
Them palps.
Don't follow the light, Jen.
Stay away from the light. No, but the light is so pretty. Other than that, I think the big one that I saw was Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
All of the loot, all of the shoot.
And they finally got their trailers working.
Yes, and
Eventually.
apparently Polygon is mad that there's not a battle royale.
Which is absurd.
If all things right now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think Apex was good. And Fortnite still the change it every week and make it fresh set of groups, but like I don't know that PUBG has been getting a lot of press lately. I know somebody who was going to be looking to try to invest into a gaming shop because he was going to try to set up like a esports area. He was working with a team that was trying to set him up with somebody who was like supposed to be a pro or a pro level PUBG player and things like that to try to set up a team. And the more and more that they waited and were working on all the logistic parts of it and everything like that, the more and more he was kind of like, you know what, like things are starting to tail off on this. And this is a guy who doesn't really like play games. He's just in the financial world. And he was even trying to read up on some of the reports and things like that. And some of the reports he's getting is that I think that some of PUBG is on its last, not on its last leg, but it's definitely starting to.
It's waning.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's waning.
It's been months now, yeah.
It's got too much competition and it's not changing or being adaptive enough.
Yeah, so I think that with that, I mean, I'm seeing a bunch of other games that have come out. They're trying to use that model. Like my brother right now is playing the Realm Royale, which I thought was a little interesting watching him play it. Because instead of crawling around on the ground whenever you're dead and hoping somebody can resurrect you, apparently you just turn into a chicken. For
Wait, what Royale is this?
Realm Royale.
It's free.
Realm.
Realm, gotcha.
Yeah. And instead of vehicles, apparently you can just like randomly like pull a horse out of your back pocket and ride a horse around through the level. And
Nice.
yeah. So, and if you apparently if you are turned into a chicken, you can, if you don't get shot, you can revive yourself X number of times from chicken status if you can run away for longer than like 15 seconds or something like that. So crazy stuff like that. It's a cool little idea, thought process. And then they also have the whole like forge idea where if you get killed, somebody from your team can go pick up a piece of your character and go to a forge and load you up, and you have to wait like 45 seconds there to be restored. So lots of crazy, but I definitely think with the people doing the little twists and turns of all the different, battle royale style games, I think that's killing the industry quickly. Some people will be like, "Hey, yay, great," because they don't like any of those battle royale style games. But I just think it's
just so saturated, man.
Yeah,
it's like they're just trying to one up each other, and it's just not. I don't know. It's not working. But Apex was an exception. I mean, people were just like, "What the hell is this? This isn't Titanfall 2 or whatever, or 3."
No.
But it's still got traction, which is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we see anything else?
Just that Divinity game that looks pretty awesome. That hopefully is going to come out on the PS4 at the same time as it does on PC, because Divinity always ends up coming on a PC, and then it's like 2 years later. Finally.
Well, they didn't do that bad with Divinity 2, right? Like they got it out much sooner on the PS4.
Yeah, it was still I think a year, but it was a lot better than 1.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess time will tell on that one.
Divinity Fallen Heroes. But yeah, that was it. That was the only one that stood out for me.
Yeah, if y'all can find a recap of what went on at PAX, good luck
Let us know.
with that. Yeah, like, because it is apparently not E3, and therefore people are just like, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
I found a
Other
whole bunch
than,
of
what was it?
pre-PAX things, but
Yeah, other than the what Ben you were talking about earlier before we got started here, the guys that couldn't get the presentation going for
Oh, that poor guy,
Borderlands 3.
man. Yeah. First of all, he started off introducing the whole like remaster of Borderlands 1 and 2 with like the updated graphics, 60 FPS and everything like that, and he played the trailer for that, and like halfway through it just starts jittering and getting choppy and lagging, and people are like, muttering, and it's getting loud again, so he has to come out and apologize and kind of vamp for a little bit, and and that doesn't end up working. So it's like, all right, you know what, guys, we're just gonna do the big reveal, and then it doesn't work, and then it's so bad. Like they ended up showing like them minimizing it. You can see this person's desktop, and people are laughing, and he's like, "You had one job, dude. You had one job," and it was funny. It ends up nothing worked, and they ended up having to all come out and introduce Borderlands 3. They had the what's the character's name? Like your ghost kind of character or whatever.
Oh, Claptrap.
No, it's like the Eve or the Guardian Angel or something like that. I don't know. She's like a white screen, like a face that you kind of barely see.
Talking about, I'm trying to remember what her name is.
She had this like whole elaborate thing that she was going to do.
Yeah, they had
as part of the release trailer, and nothing worked. So they just brought her out, and she like looked at the camera and did her thing, and it was so awkward. I mean, it was okay because she was comfortable and an actor, so she made it work. But
are you talking about? Was it the girl from the second game?
Maybe. I mean, I played one, and I remember in one, like, there's this spirit that kind of comes into your HUD, and it's like a very grainy, pixelated white face that's telling you, hey, you have to come here, you're a, whatever, cult hunter.
Wasn't it Angel or something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Angel. That makes sense. Anyway, but yeah, the actors, they had this whole thing, really cool thing planned out for her, but it didn't work out either. It was just cringy / funny. Good times. Good times at these expos.
Yeah.
There's always a great fail compilation at any E3, whatever it is, and they're always good.
Oh, yeah.
What was the one, Jen, we were talking about last year with E3?
Oh, there were so many.
There was one. It was a girl host. It was such a cringe moment. Like she shut someone down or something. Oh my god! It was.
I thought you were talking about the guy who was like Diablo, whatever. It was like you have a phone.
Oh, that was bad too.
There were so many from E3 last year. So many. God, I mean, it was like a comedy of errors with those people.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's always bad, but like, it just felt like last year was.
Oh yeah,
really.
Especially when there's a girl that's like a woman that's trying to host. It's like those are the ones that make me physically have to hide behind a pillow. It's like, oh my god, Michael Scott moment. Oh.
No, God,
guys, why can't you just keep it in your fucking pants and let her do her job? Oh, that's what. Yeah, someone asked her out. I think publicly, or something like that. Oh my god, and she's like,
oh man.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I'm gonna look for it. I'll text you guys at 1 a.m. Let you know.
Please do.
It's important.
So that's PAX, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's
PAX
see.
on PAX on PAX.
So I know we kind of wanted to talk about that Anthem interview, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of you actually read all of the, or listen to, or whatever? It was text, wasn't it?
Was the video like word for word? Like he was reading his article, right? Or no? Or am I wrong?
I don't know.
I don't know. I watched the video. I didn't get to go through the whole report.
I didn't get a chance, and that's terrible.
No, I remember starting to read it, and I realized, oh, this is the exact same words that he's using in the video. So I was like, oh, okay, I don't need to read it. But I think he just read his article and kind of, audiobooked it.
ASMR.
Exactly.
Can one of you, maybe Dan, since he hasn't gotten to talk much, recap it for us?
That's freaking Sekiro down, Dan.
Yeah, if we want to do the bullet point version, essentially said, it was
So dark and
Problem with
stormy night.
resources, problem with creative direction, problem with management, problem with, pretty much anything. And, frequent reboots with the story, like pretty much like the nightmare scenario for anyone who's working on a large scale project is pretty much what happened with that, like at every level.
Oh, that's
the big
right.
thing that stood out to me, and then you said it, Jen, and I was like, oh my God, is that one of the anonymous devs was saying how we had 6 years worth of content and ideas and, just agreements, disagreements. And then all of a sudden they come in. What is it again? EA? Yeah. EA comes in and we're having to rewrite the entire game in like 18 months. And then Jen was like, so like Destiny 2 or like Destiny 1. It's like, yes, that's exactly the same thing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
like
because
cookie cutter.
They had all of that content, all of that story, all of that lore, everything was like ready and they were getting it ready to put in the game. And then whoever, like Activision or whatever, swooped in and said like, no, we got to get this out. You got to redo it. We need something.
Yeah, even the flight mechanic was not part of that original 6-year plan. And EA came and said, you need to fly. And that was it. And it's like, oh my God. And then another big thing was that they used the DICE engine, which is, the big Battlefield heavy thing that they use. It's always first person. And so they're having to make a third person action, quick flying game with an engine that is meant completely like wartime first person, ground combat.
Yep.
And it was just bug after bug after, it was a nightmare. So,
which explains, that explains a lot of the weird, like, oh, that's an unexpected, thing that's happening. We'll fix that eventually.
Yeah, apparently even the E3 demo that they showed wasn't even built from the game.
Wow.
Like that, it was like that far off from what they were doing. So I mean, it's frustrating to hear, especially for the team that was working on it.
It's a shame.
Working on large scale projects for, what I do at work, and just having the rug pulled from under you so many times, I can't imagine how people even stayed on the team to get through it,
Right.
Well, so many people left, big names. I mean, the big players just had enough.
Yeah.
It's a shame. But, it's provided a decent amount of content for our favorite YouTubers.
Yeah. I didn't.
Post-mortem. God, it just...
Did you get to watch that? Did you get to watch it?
No, I couldn't do it.
No, I didn't.
I know. I couldn't bring myself to click on it. Was that? I don't know if that was Skill Up or Layman.
It was Skill Up. And then Layman linked it, saying this
Okay.
is what
I was like, because they use similar thumbnails sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, post-mortem, are you serious? Like, we still play sometimes. It's not an everyday thing because there's not a whole lot to do, but it's still fun. It is still fun.
Technically, it's part 2 of his review because he couldn't stomach the fact of finishing the game to make the part 2 originally.
I thought that's not what I'd heard. I thought he had said that just because it was too early into the game's release that he couldn't get the end game tried out properly.
That's what he said on his channel. But then he went on the Layman Gaming, and I don't know if he was just fucking around and trolling, but he was like, literally, he could not stomach it, is what he said. I just couldn't stomach the game enough to finish.
I think people are excessively hard on it. I mean, it's not my favorite game ever. I'm optimistic that, especially with all this press now that, yes, their management have acknowledged it. They've kind of, published their response and everything. And, kind of hope that they'll find a way to make it work and improve it like they did for, like kind of Destiny 1 as well. But, time will tell.
Yeah. Were you able at all to read anything on what the BioWare responded?
That they were aware of all this, that the guy that came in, was aware of all this turmoil and it was his job to fix it. And he's, acknowledging that he failed at that so far. It's not, he hasn't hit the mark with what he wanted to. So, I mean, what else can you really respond at this point with, with the stories that came out, but at least he didn't try to deny it or anything like that. So,
that's true. Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be clean slate and people kind of say, no, where do we go from here?
Taken King.
Yeah. It sounds like they still want to continue to support it. So
they've
come out time and time again confirming that.
So and the Reddit post, the official Reddit for it it's been a cesspool of of crap, but also there's a good half of people who really want it to succeed that are actually giving pretty good input. supporting them, encouraging the developers. And there was a big post that had a whole bunch of upvotes saying that it's been done before, and they cited the whole Final Fantasy XIV debacle and how Yoshida basically made this PowerPoint, and one of them is like, don't sell yourself out, just do what you believe in and stick with it. So it was really good. So it's true. They've done it before, so hopefully they can fix it. Or it's been done, not they've done it. We'll see.
And just, waiting to see what else they give us. Because it's still a fun game, and it's got a lot of really good things going on.
The potential's there. Yep.
Yeah. It obviously just needs more content. Yeah, it's not a bad game. It's really not.
Yeah, even the sci-fi, it's fun. I love the flying.
Yeah.
It's just, I've flown everywhere so far now. Yeah.
Oh, right. So that is our Anthem blurb for this show. What was the other thing? Oh, the Epic Store.
Yeah. So I don't know what you guys have heard. I'm not a PC player, but the PC master race is up in arms about this Epic Store exclusivity.
Seems pretty epic.
It does. I mean, I think it's epic that, this Fortnite-esque, well, not Fortnite-esque, but Fortnite-born company is now toe-to-toe with, is it Valve? Steam, right?
Steam, yeah.
Yep.
And just, I guess, stealing games, like, poaching them from the Valve store, making them exclusive to their, I don't know, what are the big ones? Borderlands 3, right? Borderlands 3
is I think, exclusive for
6 months.
6 months?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one of the big things is that, the big controversies, I guess, is that Epic Games is funded by a Chinese corporation, apparently. Well, not apparently, it is. What is it? Yeah, Tencent, exactly.
Yeah.
And they own about 40% of the company. So people are saying that they can't be trusted, that it's just, this is the company that has produced the ridiculously lucrative mobile games that are run on the freemium format.
Well, and if you think about it too, Fortnite and PUBG are both, like Tencent, I think, has their hands in both of those. Like, I think that's the overall
that's right. Their mobile games, their mobile version. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh, wow.
Because I remember that was a hot one to keep track of, just because, initially whenever they had the story about the two of them fighting over, copyright, whatever stuff, initially, we started looking back into the story a little further. It was like, well, wait a minute, Tencent owns, it's both of them. What? It's like brother and sister fighting over each other here, So it's just kind of, anyway, yeah. So Tencent.
Tencent, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And the biggest one that's everyone's kind of talking about is that they're hurting consumers because they're paying for exclusives and, buying their way into people's wallets by making the games only available on their platform. And so people are upset that, they've dedicated their time, their money to, they've got the Steam achievements, they've got their whole system there, and now they have to download another client, and that's apparently, I don't know, I've never used it, but apparently it's not reliable. It has very minimal features, like substantially less than Steam does, and has been accused of having some sort of spyware controversy as well. They're find some tracking files or whatever, I think. So people are kind of upset about that, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, they're present and they're doing it, and games are, following their lead.
Yeah.
And I think the motivation for them is that I can't remember the data on it, like the stats, but
it's a financial thing, right? Because Epic is taking less of their money. It's
a lot less, I think.
Yeah, and it's significant. I can't remember the number either, but it was significant.
Oh yeah, so Steam takes 30% off the bat, no questions asked, and Epic will take 12%. So it's a pretty significant cut that they're undercutting, I guess. But so yeah, I mean, as a developer, that sounds pretty sweet.
Right. It's a no-brainer, and people are going to go where the games are. So
I guess I don't play on PC, so I don't understand the negative to downloading another client. I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
Right,
I mean, Steam is like the near monopoly for PC games, or at least for digital versions of them. Like I used to be a main PC player, and that was where I'd get everything. And so, I mean, I've got almost 20 years worth of gaming history there. Like you're saying, the achievements and my whole library, big and all on that one client. But
didn't you at some point buy a game by selling something on Steam?
Yeah, you can sell like these little trading cards and stuff that you earn as you play, and you can trade them for money or stuff like that. Like I haven't dabbled in that too much, but yeah, it's been there for ages. And
there's a history. Yeah,
exactly. You're taking on a giant. I mean, Is it going to maybe spur some competition? I mean, great in that sense, that maybe Steam will kind of shake things up because, there hasn't been that much changing there lately. But yeah, I mean, like for especially like I think was it even Borderlands 1 and 2 that there was stuff that transferred over from one to the other? I could see that being an issue. Where we have sequels where you can have things carry over that now. On the new client I can't do that, and I don't want to wait 6 months for it to come out on Steam instead. You're in a rock and a hard place. But
right.
Yeah, if I really wanted the game, would I see that as an obstacle? Not necessarily, personally. Like I'd switch to Epic for it, and then so be it. But people can vote with their wallets ultimately.
That's true, and that's what everyone's saying. That's the time will tell. People are exactly voting with their wallets, so Epic is not going anywhere.
Neither is Steam.
Oh yeah, no, I get it exactly.
Competition isn't a bad thing for consumers. They just don't.
That's very true.
They just don't seem to understand.
Well, yeah, it's lately it's been a lot of complaining about everything.
Well,
right.
People aren't happy.
Internet 101, but yeah.
Right.
But I mean, Steam, they when the sales go on, they're good too. So I think people have never been bitter about Steam being the near monopoly for it as well. Because if you want to wait a few months, you wait for that spring sale or the summer sale, and when the almost quarterly ones that they do, and you'll get whatever you want at almost 70% off at some point. But yeah, I mean, if it might shake them up even more, then great.
True that.
Maybe they'll start making games again. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Oh, snap.
Well, people still want that.
Yes, they do.
Oh, that could be a topic for another show. The game that you want.
Ooh, I like
your
it.
wish list.
Let's see. All right. I think
Earthworm Jim 3.
Oh yeah, did we have an episode like that already?
we might have.
No, we had the game that back whenever they had the SNES Mini. We had
yeah.
Right.
We thought they missed out on their
True that.
initial release. So anyway,
I think you guys that covers it for this week.
Yeah.
Episode,
I would
not
say
week.
so.
You know what I mean?
Just a little rambling and derailment.
All aboard.
Toot, toot. All right. So
We'll talk to you next week, guys. Or
Yes.
next time.
we'll see
Next week.
you
That's right.
next time. Young out.
Young, yeah. Jesus Christ, Young. Come on, man.
Young out.
Just stop being so negative, bro. Read something. No, that's not fair. Never mind. You're going to cut this down, right?
Sure. Oh, wait, no, it's...
It's going to be okay. All right. No, seriously though. Bye.
Later.